Hey there, good morning. Thanks for watching. I'm up with the birds again. It's about 5:45 in the morning, I think, in the centre of Saigon. And I'm standing in front of Batexco Tower, which used to be the site of the old market until about 100 years ago when it got moved to where current day Bentan Market is. And for a time that was actually called New Market over there. There are vestiges still of the old market and it's still called the old market, and that's about a block away from here. So on my walk around today, we might take a quick look in there as we go by. Okay, so let's get moving and I'll tell you a little bit more about today's walk. Okay, so on today's walk, I'm going to take you to the Saigon Railway Station, which is about 4 kilometres from here. It should be a pretty easy walk. And along the way, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of the railways in Saigon, get some brekkie, probably have a coffee, and then maybe, depending on how long this walk takes, get some lunch as well. Okay, so let's hit the tracks, or let's make tracks. Anyway, let's hit the road before things get too hot because it looks like it's going to be a scorcher. Okay, let's get into it. So when I first came to live here, I was kind of perplexed by the layout of the city because there were wide boulevards and streets, just like this one behind me. And then there were short, narrow streets that came to an abrupt end, and then there's other ones that kind of jut off in weird directions, and then others that sort of bend around and seemingly go nowhere. So it wasn't until I started reading up on the history of the city that I realised it was probably because there had been a railway line or a tram line there at some time in the past. And where I'm standing right now is around about the location of the city's first railway station. And now that I look at it, it really makes sense because it's so close to the river, which gave it easy access to ships. And then in that direction there is Chinatown, and further on the Mekong Delta. And then later on, a second line was built and it went to Nha Trang in the north. I believe there have been about 3 railway stations in Saigon's history. This location is the first one. Let's go and check out the second one. I mentioned earlier that there's still vestiges of the old market here in Saigon to this day, and that's it over there. It's only a short strip of old vendors and shops, but there are still some really good things to check out there, including food. Now, we're not going to go in there today. Maybe I'll do that for a video another time, but if you're in the area, perhaps you're doing this walk, go and check it out for yourself, especially if you're hungry. Now, while I'm at it, I probably should mention that this street, which is called Ham Ni Street, has had a number of names over its history. The first one was Crocodile Bridge Creek, because apparently it was a creek and it was full of crocodiles. Yeah, Vietnam actually has a native species of crocodiles. Now, I don't think they are seen very often, but on the odd occasion they do get out. Another name that it had as well was Rue de Canton, and it was named after the people that lived here because they were Cantonese. They were the first sort of Chinese people who came to live in the colony, and they lived just over here in the Win Tai Bin neighbourhood. And probably the most fascinating name for me is that it was called Rue de la Somme, named after the Battle of the Somme during World War I around 1916. And obviously the street was named after that battle to commemorate it, but it was also named to remember the almost 100,000 Vietnamese men who were conscripted to fight in the war for the French, and of whom most lost their lives. How about that? It's a beautiful old building, isn't it? It's the old Railways building, and it's probably one of my favourite buildings in all of Saigon. It was built around about the same time as Bentan Market over there, so in the early 20th century. And today it still serves as the headquarters of Vietnam Railways. It looks like it's got a little bit of renovation work that needs to be done, but it's still here. Hopefully nothing happens to it and it stays around for another 100 years or so. The other thing about it is that, like so many of these old buildings around Saigon, they have a sordid history. And just out the front on the footpath here, during the 1960s under the Yim government, it was a public execution site where they actually literally executed people on site here so the public could see it. The interesting thing about it today is that it's the site of the entrance and the exit to the new metro station right underneath here. So by now you must be getting a feel for why this is such a transportation hub in Saigon to this day. And I'm actually sitting right above the new metro station, and that's the skylight behind me there that lets natural light down into the station. And further along is September 23 Park, which commemorates the beginning of Vietnam's resistance against French colonial occupation. But also, this was the site of the second railway station as well. So before it was a park, it was the railway station during the French colonial period, and also the, what do you call them? The shunting yards or the railway yards as well, where they kept the trains. So that explains why there's such an expanse of land here and that there's been a park built here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go through the park. I'll take you through there, but then at some point we're going to veer off on one of those weird curved streets that was once the railway line to Nha Trang. Okay, let's go. Well, I don't know about you, but after all that exercise, I feel like a coffee. I need a little break. I've been going for a little while now. And just up there over my shoulder is a place there. It's called Little Hanoi, I think it is, or Little Egg Coffee. So if you're into egg coffee, that might be a spot for you to check out. It's not a bad spot to go. But in the same building, around the corner, is another little cafe that I want to go to. So let's go and see if it's open, and we'll get a coffee and just cool down a little bit and plan the next leg of this walk. You gotta love these old French colonial era buildings, don't you? I've actually forgotten the name of the cafe that's here, but we'll find it. I'm gonna whisper because this is also an apartment block. This is where people live, so I don't want to annoy them. I've lost that condition that I had in my legs. It's amazing how quickly you lose it. Here we go. I think this is it. It's closed. Anyway, we might try this one, hey? Where is this place? Here we go. Okay, I think they're open. Hello, Cynthia. Hello. Okay, not a bad spot. Hey, check this out. There's the church. There's the park, or the western end of the park that we were walking along. It's now a bus depot, but of course part of the old railway station and the rail yards that used to be here. And then after this coffee that we're going to have, see that street? I don't know if you can see, I hope my fat finger's not in the way, but behind the church here, there's a street that curves around to the right. And back in the day, that was like the junction where the trains went through to Nha Trang, out in the north. Sorry, I'm getting my camera caught on all the plants and creepers and stuff here, but yeah, so you can kind of see that the trains would have come out here, turned right, down the street there where those motorbikes are going off to the right, and then all the way north to Nha Trang. And we're gonna walk a little bit of that route today after this coffee and after I cool down a little bit, although it's getting hotter by the moment, so I better knock this back and get back on track. Okay, nice little spot, isn't it? Good spot for a café soda. I actually like it better than the one that I was going to take you to because it's got this outdoor balcony and there's actually a nice breeze that's coming through every now and then, and we're shaded as well. So yeah, good thing the other one was closed. Still got the view of the church, got a good view of where we're going to walk to next, and hopefully it gives you a little bit of an idea of the layout of what the railway yards were like. And hopefully it gives you enough to imagine what it might have been like back in the day. Perhaps, yeah, this building would have been here when the trains were there. Now, let's see what this is like. Ooh. Ah, very nice. First one for the day. Ooh. Come on, chị. Okay, so what I've come across here is, bye-bye, have a good day, is a warm or hot tofu lady, I suppose you could call her, a vendor here on the street. And so this is what's kind of typical. You tend to see these around marketplaces. Yeah. And so she's got tofu, got a kem, kem, nước dừa, coconut, sort of a coconut cream, and all sorts of other little goodies in here. Here you go, she's bubbling away under here, and I think, here, okay, on. Yeah. Oh, it's hot, it's hot. She's got, down here I think she's got a little coal-fired thing going there to bubble away there. and I'm going to buy one of these. 20,000. Okay. Thank you. See? Okay. Wait him. There we go. Okay. I hope she doesn't give up her day job because she's not a very good videographer, but that's okay. I've got to find my wallet. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty positive review already without even tasting it because she's standing over my shoulder there. But actually it looks really good. Yeah, this is what they call douhu, and it's tofu. Tofu topped with coconut, like a coconut milk, kind of coconut cream. Ginger is usually in it. It's actually one of my wife's favourites, and she got me onto this. Probably a little bit pricey for here. In the local markets where I live, it's less than 20,000 dong. But you know, we're in the touristy area, and I guess I look like a tourist, so. It's very good. Creamy and a little bit salty as well. Hers has got quite a bit of salt. You know, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Naan, one naan. And it has the little tapioca balls in it as well. The little sort of boba that they put in it. Really good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat the whole lot of it though. It's very good, very good. Oh, that warm tofu, nice and sticky and sweet. Not a bad little appetizer before brekkie. Nice little find. She told me that she's there most days at 8 a.m. So if you happen to be in the neighbourhood, stop by. She charged me 20,000 for it. Bit of a foreigner price. I think it's more around, sorry, I'm just dodging craps that are all over the footpath here. I think it's more like 15,000 for a little cup of it. But, you know, whatever. So yeah, this is sort of where we veer off now, heading in the direction of Nha Trang, or what would have been Nha Trang on the train. I'm just checking. I need to cross over just so I don't get run over. But yeah, this, as you can see, it's sort of curving around. There's a bend up ahead here. And look, as I mentioned earlier, I had no idea about the history of the layout of the city until I started reading up about it. And now that you sort of know that this was once a train line along here, it makes sense as to sort of why there's these curves in the road here. Yeah, so there's so much food along this street here. I mean, my eyes are just dancing around everywhere, looking at all these places, also trying to dodge motorbikes. What I should point out is, to my left, just sort of over those shops over there, is Banana Market, it's called, or Banana Garden Market. We won't go there today. I have been there before on this channel, but maybe, you know, sometime soon I'll do a video on that market. But it's called Banana Garden Market because this area was actually a banana plantation back in the sort of 40s and 50s. Okay, this is us. So as you can see, barely enough room to swing a cat or turn a grab motorbike around. Okay, where is this place? Down. Hello, good morning. Chào buổi sáng. Nấu gì?
Cơm.
Cơm.
Tắm.
Cơm tắm. Ok. Nhưng
Để con
hết
bật
rồi hả? Yeah.
Đang nướng thật.
Okay. Thank you.
Dạ.
Cảm ơn. Okay. Down here. No. Down here. No. Okay, where are you? I can't see any signs. She said go straight. Okay, here's Bun Bo Hoi Nu. Okay, she's not open till 11 o'clock. Ah, here we go. I think. Hello anh. Quán phở Tuấn.
Quán phở Tuấn hả?
Yeah.
Dạ, qua đây quẹo đây có cái quán phở.
Okay. All right, come on. Thank you. Okay, not down this alleyway, but we walked past the Bun Bo Hoi place, but they're not open till 11. I can't wait around for that. I'll come back another day. Here we go. We've deviated off the train line a little bit, or the old railway line, but we've got to eat. Okay, let's give this place a go. Hello em, chào em. Phở Nam.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everything's a bit of a stretch. A little bit of a clean. People say you should put the lime on it and give it a wipe. Allegedly it sterilises it or something. All right, let's give the soup a try first. Looks nice and peppery, clear. Oh, it's beefy. It is beefy. There's no doubting as to what type of pho this is. My goodness, that is beefy. Very good. All right, nice. I don't have to add much to that. I might add a dash of lime to it, just out of habit. No disrespecting this place, but it's just a bit of a habit, just to put a little bit of tang in it. But straight off the bat, the soup tastes sensational. I want a little bit of spice too, so I might just put these little bird's eyes in there, sliced up bird's eyes by the looks. Put a little bit of that in. I tend to like to use the red chili so I can see them in the soup, just for safety reasons. Little bit of basil, chuck a little bit of that in. I'm actually really excited about eating this one. It's, I don't know, 10 o'clock or something in the morning, haven't eaten, walked a fair way, done a fair bit of filming, and come across this bowl of pho that's giving me all the indications that it's going to be excellent. And the bean shoots, or bean sprouts, sorry, and give it a mix. All right. Look at that. That's a decent chunk right there. Bit of satay. Put that there. I might use that to dip in. Very good. This place is good. Yeah. Good little find. Salty, savoury, peppery, beefy. Have I said it's beefy yet? Yeah, really enjoying this bowl of pho. As I said, really beefy. It's really nice to come across a bowl of pho that actually tastes like beef, and it's got that sort of oily, beefy fragrance to it. It's almost like you've walked into a butcher shop, if you can picture that in terms of the smell. Which, when you're coming into a pho place, it's always a good sign. All right, super bowl of pho, that one, recommend it. Put it on the list. I'll make sure I put it in the description. Not too hard to find actually, even though I've been lost twice since walking down here. But yeah, really good. As I said, super beefy, and that's what you want in a really good bowl of pho. It slowed me.
Morning.
Morning, how are you? Not bad. It slowed me up there for a little bit, but ready to go now. Let's get back on the rails and get back following where the old train line used to go and make our way to the railway station in District 3. All right. I'll tell you what, if Vietnam doesn't make you a foodie or turn you into a foodie, then you're not living, you're not alive. These neighbourhoods here, they survive on feeding the masses. And basically, every second place is somewhere you can eat or get a drink. It's just incredible. Even after all these years, it just still amazes me. But again, walking along, stumbling along here really does give you a sense of this being an old railway line. I mean, I think we've all seen the videos online of Train Street in... Hello, Em. I think she called me Em. I'll take that. But we've all seen the videos online of Train Street in Hanoi. And you could imagine if there was a train line here to this day, it would be very similar. And you can see that just with these, what do you call them? Shop house cum apartment ramshackle dwellings that are along here. Okay, so this is a cool little concept. On the sign here it says like space, cultural space, books. So there it is there. So space, culture, books. So what you do is, the concept is you go there, buy a drink, buy a coffee or something like that, and then you can come and sit in here and read a book, and presumably about Vietnamese culture and history and stuff like that. I think it's a really good idea, and it's something I haven't really seen other than on Book Street in District 1. We're out here sort of, it's not really the middle of nowhere, but it's in a kind of unusual kind of spot. Perhaps that's a university behind the building there, but you know, good to see, and you know, there's one young lady in there reading and having a bubble tea or something like that. So I'm going to come back here later, I think, and have a drink and see what sort of books they've got. I probably won't be able to read any of them, but just good to know it's here and it's refreshing. Okay, so we're nearing the final stretch of our little walk to the train station today, but somehow I've got to get through this on foot. What's my plan of attack? I mean, I could do the easy option probably and go around, but that would mean I would have to, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 6 streets. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 streets kind of feeding into this roundabout here. So we have to go straight across the roundabout. I could take the easy option, probably, easier option, go to my right, but then I'd have to cross about 3 or 4 streets. Or I can be a man and go straight through the middle, or an idiot, whichever one it is. Which I'm kind of liking that option. I think I can handle that better. So let's see how we go, hey? I think I'm going to be able to do it. I think I'm going to be okay. It's just these ones that pop out of nowhere. Okay, what was I worried about? Piece of piss. It's actually easier to walk it than to ride it. I've been around this roundabout dozens of times, and actually the place where I get my licensing done is just down that street over there. So I come through here, or over the years, I've come through here quite a bit. Next step. Oh, I should have gone. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Excuse me, Em. Sorry, Sinloi. It's the ones that pop out from behind the cars that generally worry me. Thank you, Em. Okay, we are through. Got through like a pro, hey? There you go. There's a challenge for you. That's probably what I would do. If you're gonna do this walk through that roundabout. Go in. Hello. Shit. Did you just see that? I got kind of transfixed on the dog, and then that bus just roared past. That was a close call. No, thank you, Ann. Đi bò, đi bò. That's the other thing about this walk. Because you're walking through pretty touristy or tourist-heavy locations and streets, you'll get a lot of guys on motorbikes like that. Look at that old school barbershop. Look at that. Very cool. You'll get a lot of guys coming up to you on motorbikes, and traditionally they're called xe om. Xe is the word for vehicle, and om is hug. Now there's nothing nefarious about that, just that the traditional way of getting around Vietnam on motorbikes is to hail one of these xe om. But since the advent of ride-hailing apps and stuff like that, like Grab and Sun SM, you rarely, if ever, use the old xe om guys. But of course, these days they're out of work, or other times it's just people trying their luck. They see a foreigner walking the streets, see them as a tourist and say, hey, let me take you somewhere around. And 9 times out of 10, they look as dodgy. So stick to your ride-hailing apps. And here it is, we did it. Hey, a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be a very hard walk. There was just a lot of traffic, so if you're going to do it, make sure you take care of that. I know you will anyway. I mean, it's hard to ignore, isn't it? But here we are, we've made it to the Saigon Railway Station, where any of you who will be travelling, chào,
Okay.
ăn sang chưa, right? Any of you who are thinking about travelling by train will obviously come here to start your journey northwards on the Reunification Express, most likely. Here we go. Look at that. Not too bad if you're into trains, if you're a train geek. I'm not so much, but if you're a train geek, that might be something you want to come and check out. One thing I failed to tell you was, why is the railway station out here these days? Well, I believe that it was simply because the inner city, where District 1 is now, just simply couldn't handle the trains and all of the people that used it. It just got so crowded in there, and then the increase in usage of cars and trucks and stuff like that. So the plan was, or what they did, was bring the train station out here. And this is where the line went anyway. So, and just one more thing, they use the word gare, Saigon, for the railway station. It's the French word for railway station, so it's borrowed from French, just in case you're wondering. And it's not chicken, because the tone is different, but there it is in all its glory. So there you have it. I don't even know if you want to have a look inside, do you? I might leave that up to you to have a look inside when you come here to Saigon. This aircon is sensational.